Naruto Ultimate Ninja Impact is the last Naruto game that has ever come out for the PSP system. The game came out in 2011 worldwide. The main story mode of this game is the Ultimate Road. This is the mode in which you will spend the majority of your time. The story of this game takes us from the start of Naruto Shippuden right until the end of the 5-Kada Summit arc. The flow of this game is similar to the last Heroes game. Essentially, this game is split up into 10 chapters. Each chapter is represented as a map in which there are these paths that follow the events of the story. If the story events are happening in Konoha, the map will be the map of Konoha. If you're playing the Jiraiya's arc, you'll find yourself in the Hidden Rain village. In the map there are multiple events that progress the story, similar to Ultimate Ninja Heroes 3. Only difference here is that there are no more filler-like events that just pad the playtime. In total there are 3 main events. Story battles. These are represented with a red kunai that will throw the player in a battle environment that makes sense story-wise. Story dialogue. These are represented with a book. These events are basically story dialogues that move the story forwards. Usually these scenes are thrown after a story battle. The story dialogues are represented in a visual novel style and are fully voiced. Occasionally you'll get still frames from the anime. Side mission battles. These are represented with a red shuriken. After completing a chapter, you'll unlock new side battle missions that are filler-like battles. One example is Naruto forgetting to bring Sakura a souvenir after he came back to the village, so he asks Jiraiya for help. Of course, he will help only if Naruto protects Jiraiya from hordes of Konoha ninjas that want to punish Jiraiya for doing some of his research. Of course, on the side there are other events like the shop in which we are able to buy cards. Yes, cards. This game puts a heavy emphasis on collectible cards. While playing through the game, you'll earn ninja points that will allow you to buy these cards. These cards can be used before a battle to give some boost to the character you're currently playing. Before a fight, you're able to set a maximum of 4 cards that can increase your stats like attack, defense, chakra, and so on. Naturally, while fighting, you are able to level up your character that will increase its stats automatically, so the cards are there for a quick boost. While playing through the story mode, you will unlock some special cards that can be used in the map or before a battle. Some cards will allow you to change the battle difficulty of a fight. Some cards like Sakura's will help you destroy a builder in order to access special areas of the map, or some cards like Ma's and Pa's card that will allow you to access the far reaches of the map in order to get either ninja points or some special cards. There are some cards that are character specific. If the character uses his special card extensively, after some time the card gets mastered and is able to be used by other characters as well. During the story you will play with multiple characters. You will play as Naruto, Sasuke, Jiraiya and the 4th Raikage, for example. The interesting thing is that this game offers us 2 endings depending on which character you choose in the last battle. After finishing the battle, the credits roll, and after that a small cutscene is played from your chosen character's perspective. After completing a battle, you will earn a rank. The rank depends on your time, the amount of enemies defeated and damage dealt. The higher the rank, the more ninja points you acquire. As well, the higher the rank, the more card pieces you're able to unlock. Yes, there are some cards that can be only unlocked by A. buying special card booster packs in the store, or B. playing the game and getting random pieces which will help you in creating new cards. There are 2 types of card rarities. Red cards are rare and need 9 pieces to collect, while blue are normal cards with 4 pieces needed to be unlocked. This game's gameplay differs a lot from the previous Heroes games. If the previous games were 2D fighters at their core, this time the game is a hack and slash type game. The core gameplay elements are simple. You're dropped in a battlefield with hundreds of enemies around you. Depending on the story context, you will have to either defeat a certain number of enemies, have to travel from one end of the map to the other, or have to defeat bosses in order to complete the battle. Most of the regular enemies can be defeated in 2 hits, but sometimes there are tougher enemies that either summon these regular enemies or some who can deal and take huge amounts of damage. As well, there are different types of enemies depending on the story, and the way how they are introduced kinda makes sense as well. We got Leaf Shinobi, Sound Ninjas, Dangerous Clay Spiders, 5-Gaka Summit Samurais, and Akatsuki's Cursed Dolls. For example, when fighting any of the Akatsuki members, they will summon these doll-like enemies that are meant to be a backup plan for the Akatsuki. When fighting Deidara, he will use a mix of these dolls and his clay spiders that explode on impact. Or when you are fighting Itachi, he will use his crows to attack, just like in the anime. The battle system is like no other. In general, all of the fighting happens in the 3D world. The controls for fighting are interesting. So, basically, in order to move your character, you have to use the analog sticks instead of the D-pads. Basic functions like jumping and throwing shurikens are done with the same buttons as previously. In this game, each character that you play as has multiple jutsus that they can execute. Yes, no more are we locked with just one jutsu. These jutsus can be executed by spamming the circle button specific amount of times and then pressing the triangle button. Each character has around 3 to 4 jutsus that they can execute in the middle of the combos. Each character has a regular jutsu as well, like Naruto Sharingan, that can also be extended in order to deal massive amounts of damage. Since this game is a Musou type, all of the attacks for all characters are made with a huge AoE. Each playable character has an ultimate jutsu. In order to execute an ultimate jutsu, you press the triangle button twice and press the attack button, just like in the Storm games. When the attack hits, a small in-game cutscene is shown where the jutsu is done. These jutsus are devastating and can bring down a huge amount of enemies. Best idea is to run in the middle of the enemies and then execute the jutsu. Some characters like Sasuke and Naruto have multiple jutsus. In order to change the ultimate jutsus, you have to use special cards before the fight that gives the ability to change the ultimate jutsu. In story battles, sometimes the battle will be interrupted with a small dialogue sequence that gives more context to the fight/story. As well, during the battles, the characters will talk during the battle. If you play a battle long enough, you'll be able to hear the same line multiple times, which will get annoying.
Go easy on me, okay? Shadow Clone me! Go easy on me, okay? I think I'm getting the hang of this. I think I'm getting the hang of this.
While fighting, you will be able to fill up this small meter beside your character. After you have defeated around 100 to 150 enemies, you will be able to use your Awakening. The Awakening can give you a stat boost, or allow you to use a different character like Naruto. When in Awakening mode, he turns into the Four Tails with new movesets and jutsus. In the chapter's endings, you will encounter bosses. There are two types of bosses. One is the regular bosses, which you defeat as any other enemy. The others are special, which, while in battle, will have this dot in their health bar. Once you have depleted the enemy to that point, a QTE sequence will happen. The QTE sequence are just like in the Storm games, but this time they are a bit quicker and lower budget. The visuals for these QTE sequences look awesome, especially for a PSP game. While inputting the QTE commands, you again, just like in the Storm games, you earn stars. This time the stars give extra ninja points at the end of the battle, and in the gallery section unlock the QTE sequence cutscenes for you to watch later. The ones that don't get all 3 stars are not unlocked. In these QTE sequences there are moments where the game alters from the game's visuals to an anime visual and then back to the game's visual. I think that's a unique transition to have to make the sequence more engaging. If the story mode wasn't enough for you, we got 2 more interesting modes, extra missions and tag missions. Extra missions are basically extra battles that can be done but under specific rules. Challenges where you need to defeat certain bosses in a row, defeat multiple enemies in a given time, or defeat enemies without losing your combo. These battles can be fought by playing with the 26 playable characters that each have their own levels and abilities. Sadly, this time, and I think for the first time in Naruto Ultimate Ninja games, there is no free battle mode in which you can play 1v1 fights, even in a huge battlefield. Tag missions are basically the same thing, but you can play these missions with your friends who have the game and the PSP console as well. If you play a certain amount of times with a character, if I'm not mistaken it was 20 times, then in the gallery section you are able to unlock an image of that character, which, just like in Heroes 3, can be saved in the PSP system and used as a background image. A lot of people praise this game to be one of the best PSP Naruto games, and I agree. If you like Naruto and Musou type gameplay, I definitely recommend this game. I was shocked about the length of this game. I spent 20 hours just to complete the main story. If I would like to complete it to 100%, for example, it would take me maybe around 40 hours, which for a PSP game in my opinion is just crazy, but in a good way. What did you think of this game? Let me know in the comments. Feel free to subscribe if you like Naruto game related content as well. But yeah, that's it from me. Have a nice day/evening. Bye guys.